Good evening, my name is Michaela Esquivel, and I am going to be answering some questions about teaching for my early adolescent class that I'm attending at Grand Canyon University. I feel like there are certain qualities that a teacher needs to possess to be successful, and I feel like I have some of those qualities, such as being a person who cares about mental health and wants to be understanding at all times. I feel like that is a great trait to have because you want your students to feel safe and you want your students to be able to come talk to you freely, and while also having that respect for you as you being their teacher. I feel like even though I do have that quality, I do need to work on my patience. I get irritated a little too quickly, and I need to understand that you can't be like that in the classroom. You don't want to rub off negatively to your students. I also feel like I get nervous really easy, and I want to come off as confident in a classroom so my students have confidence in me as their teacher. I also feel like educators should be professionally, and that's how they behave in and out of the classroom, especially with social media. When any student or parent can look and see how you're behaving, you want to be professional at all times. And you can also be friendly and have a great balance for both of those. I feel like the number one thing a teacher should inspire to be is a safe place for their students. They should welcome their students with open arms, and then they should also be professional and be like, I'm your teacher, this is what we're going to learn, while also being able to joke around and have a friendship with their students and also the students' parents at the same time. It's just the way you balance it that's going to make you successful as a teacher. I feel like if a teacher is positive in their classroom, it's going to rub off on their students, and it's going to be almost like a life lesson to them. If you come in every day with a positive attitude and you reflect that to your students, they're going to be like, hey, I can do the same thing. But if you come in negative and you lash out at your students, they're going to believe that they can lash out when they don't feel good, and that's not how you want your students to morally develop. I feel like a teacher is a great role model because you're with students multiple hours for multiple days, and how your attitude is how a student is going to be like, this is how I should act. I also feel like because I'm in the military, I have an understanding of professions or being professional and having a code of ethics and understanding laws and policies. The military is very strict, and I have to listen to all these rules, and I have to act a certain way. I have to look a certain way. And though I know teaching won't be as strict, I still want to take that mindset when I do become a teacher, like, hey, these are the policy this class has, and I need to act like it. And I need to dress professionally. I need to act professionally so I can. And it will help with your confidence too as a teacher because you're listening to the rules. And if you're listening to the rules, the students will see you as a role model and also listen to the rules. I also feel like promoting a healthy moral development for your students is extremely important. I feel like letting the students sit down for 5 minutes and be like, hey, how was your day? How was your weekend? Anything you want to talk about? And let them talk freely and kind of let them get that energy out in the beginning of class will help them instead of having them sit down right away and be like, hey, we need to start lesson plans. They're also at school to learn, but they also socialize with friends that they don't see at home. And no teacher understands what a student is going through at home. So letting them know that you have a safe place as a classroom and that they can talk and they can kind of vent will help them when they're developing, because they can tell their friends like, hey, if you need to vent to me, I'm here for you. And I feel like being a teacher is all about being a role model to these students over and over again for a school year. And even when they're out of your class, being there for them. It's a profession that's going to be hard, and you're going to have to learn through your mistakes and adjust each year. But I feel like once you figure it out, you can have a very successful classroom.